Hi everyone, how are you all doing? I hope that you're all well. I just wanted to come on today as it has been a while and definitely been receiving messages and guidance along the way. But it has gotten to a new culmination point that I just felt a push to share what's been happening in my journey and what I've been receiving for the collective. Um, Basically, a few months back, my twin and I, in the summertime, we did start speaking. It did feel like we were getting close again to seeing each other. As I've mentioned in my other videos, he lives halfway around the world. Um, but he was really beginning to open up to me, and he was opening up, as I'd mentioned in some past videos, like opening up in ways that I had really been waiting for. He sent me a song, and the lyrics just hit me really hard and helped me to really understand where he was coming from through the lyrics of these songs. My twin and I seem to get a lot of signs through songs, at least I do on my end. And when he sent me the song, it seemed like he's getting them as well. So things felt like they were getting really close. We were back on each other's social media. We were doing FaceTime. We were sort of making some plans. And then all of a sudden, again, as many of you experience, the masculine sort of shuts down and pulls away. And in doing so, the feminine, it's very difficult. It feels very painful. It hurts, it brings up those old wounds of abandonment and just that feeling of being let down or not being good enough to experience this love and whatnot. So he pulled away. It really triggered me. I expressed that it was triggering me. He came back to me telling me that it wasn't just me, it was a lot of his own issues within. He was having a hard time to think it was realistic for us to be together and that we live so far apart. And as I mentioned, we both have children where we each live. He has a son and I have a son. So he was just expressing too that it was also difficult for him to even believe the words that came out of my mouth, in a way that it was difficult for him to believe that I would even follow through on my end with, what he could feel are just claims. Or I felt like he thought, even if we try this, she might realize I'm not what she thinks, or that was just my interpretation. And just with the distance, it's going to be so hard. We're going to have to come together, be apart, come together, be apart. Maybe we can't handle it. So on and so forth. All these blocks came up. So I kept trying with him and I kept trying to communicate with him anyways. And as usual, I try to persevere. And I believe in our love so much that, you just want to make it happen and encourage them and let them know it will be okay. But in my own healing, I've really come to a place of realization that I had no control of that all along, and that was part of the surrender, was to accept that there's nothing I could really say or do to convince the other half of you, that they can trust you, they can open their heart, they can be open to this love. It is real when they're just not ready for that yet themselves. And I will say that on my end, since that time, I've seen the ways that I've needed to heal as well. I do feel that the feminine can look at the masculine and just think, oh, it's all them, they have so many issues, or I've done so much spiritual work, I'm so awakened. But over time, in retrospect, I'll look back and say, oh, yeah, no, I get it. I still had to work on this, or work on receiving, or work on that. So he was consistently being quite distant with me. he would say hi here and there, very rarely. When I would happen to reach out, he would seem like he would want to respond, but he would just want to keep me at a certain distance. All of a sudden, I began to feel something very strong. I felt like another woman had gotten involved. And in my journey, my twin had a karmic partner that he had a child with who was his ex-girlfriend since he was a teenager. So she was always in the picture, and it felt like she was finally out of the picture. She finally moved on with her life, as far as I could see. So it felt like this sense of relief, but all of a sudden, when he was so distant like that, I felt like there was somebody else, and I felt it quite strongly. So I expressed that to him, that I just had this feeling that he was looking for another relationship or in a relationship, something that, something that I was describing to him was more of a codependent relationship, and just someone to be there, to kind of just to have someone for the sake of having someone is what I was feeling like he was finding. And one time I wrote him and he didn't respond back, and I just had a very strong feeling that he was with somebody. So I expressed that to him, and in my own world, I was purging so majorly, so intensely. I could just feel it so strongly, like him sort of slipping away, I guess you could say. So he pulled away completely. He didn't even respond to me at all. And I went into such a deep state of just reflection, just really getting to my wit's end, as I feel many of the feminine got to, where you just have to let go. It's like you're pushed to the edge of a cliff and you have no choice but to jump. And that's what I felt I was pushed to and meant to be pushed to. So finally, I just gathered all my strength and thought to myself, that's it. I need to let go of this connection for good. I need to accept this just is not happening, at least not in this time frame or this timeline or this lifetime. I just accept it. If he's scared, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't keep trying to chase him. I can't keep trying to convince him. I let it go. So I let go fully, and I decided to open my heart. And as soon as I decided that I was going to open my heart and move on with a relationship of my own, I met someone very easily. And to back up the story a bit, actually, I forgot to mention that I was looking online and I saw a picture of my twin with another woman, and it appeared to be what I had suspected, a relationship. So I met someone as well, and it was hard for me at first to open my heart, and in the past I never wanted to open my heart to really begin another relationship because I just felt it would be unfair to that person if my heart is still with my twin. So I would avoid it. And I think it just wasn't meant to be in the cards. It just wasn't even really happening. So I met somebody, and it very, very quickly moved, very fast. And I was almost overwhelmed by it, like, whoa. But at the same time, I just kept saying to myself, okay, universe, I am open to whatever you want to show me. If this is a karmic partner, if this is who I'm meant to spend the rest of my life with, if this is a soulmate, if this is even my true twin flame, and that was all a catalyst situation, I'm open to whatever possibilities you want to put my way. I kept going to yoga a lot more regularly than I had been in the past, and in yoga, it just felt like a time of prayer and gratitude and just asking the universe for assistance. And bam, a wonderful man came into my life and really put me in the state of receiving. showing me the ways in which I used to block myself off or used to feel undeserving, and just helping me to work past my barriers, and helping me to heal certain aspects that needed to heal anyways. So I'm still in that relationship, and after I'd gotten into it for a while, I just felt like I not completely forgot about my twin flame, but his energy was completely distant. I did not feel the connection, and I thought, wow, okay, this is interesting. It's really severed. I don't feel him like I used to. I don't feel him thinking about me. I'm not thinking about him as much. He would definitely pop into my mind, but it was just different. So I felt this strong distance for the past couple months. And then just recently, it was actually on the 10th of January, and we're in 2017. So we're in 2018, sorry. So that's an 11-year. And I suddenly felt this strong connection come back to me. And I'm in a new relationship. I'm happy with the relationship I'm in. I could very much be in this relationship for good, I feel. At this point, that's the way I see it. I could live a life with this person and be fine. I could live that life. I'm okay with that timeline. That's, this person is a good soul. But all of a sudden, I felt my twin come back in, and I suddenly started experiencing sleepless nights, almost like an anxious feeling, and I felt the connection come back in very strongly. So that took place the most intensely on the 10th. The 11th of January, which was like a 1/11/11, it was really, really intense. And then even in the days since, I felt him connecting to my energy very powerfully. And I've asked for little signs, and the signs came through. It's really, it's really intense, definitely intense. So, in my world, definitely coming more into my union, working not only with clients that I've gained since I've started this YouTube channel, which is always so rewarding and wonderful, but also now beginning to do healing work in my community. One of my good friends, who is a twin here where I live, she's opened up a business, a healing sort of a place, and I'm taking part in things there. So it just feels like it's all landing in my lap. And then in other ways, I've definitely created the opportunities and taken my time to learn and grow and hone in on my gifts and my abilities and what my role is in helping to assist the collective, helping to assist with the shift that will take place or is taking place. Just really coming into my power, coming into balance. I'm feeling that balance of the masculine and feminine. I'm feeling that balance of the earthly energies mixed with the spiritual energies or the higher realms. I felt like I was a little too in the 5D I just wasn't connecting to earth for a long time, and it made me feel very depressed. I just didn't want to partake in life. I wanted to be a hermit. I was spending a lot of time in bed, a lot of time in my room, just shedding layers, healing, learning, reading, watching YouTube, taking online courses, doing healing sessions, talking with other spiritual people and other twins. I know what it was all for. It was all so perfect. But then in recent months, and especially since I disconnected from my twins' energy, it felt like I really grounded into the earthly energies. I really started to take a look at this experience on earth right now and look at it as a beautiful gift. The opportunities are endless for what we can do, what we can manifest on the earth. So let's play with it. Let's have some fun with it. Enjoy it. Relish in it. And I ended up watching things on Netflix that were just very inspiring, of people that to me were just so grounded, so grounded. And I found it so inspiring to see how some people are living their lives in a sort of state of freedom and love and just flow. They're in the flow. So just coming into my flow and enjoying life more, getting out of that sort of depressed, dark night of the soul, deep inner healing and purging and clearing the way for all this energy to come through. Like I said, it was all so perfect. I totally understand now in retrospect why it had to be that way. And I also came into a place of love and forgiveness for my twin. This has happened in the past where we'll come back together. He'll pull away after a while. I'll go into a sort of sadness, anger, frustration, darkness, and then work through that and slowly get back to that level, grounded spot again. So right now, I just feel thankful for him, thankful that he was so grounded into the earth that it's like he knew what needed to happen here in the 3D, whereas I was so connected to the 5D that my intuition was just going off, knowing what needed to happen as far as our soul connection and just feeling that push to keep at it and not let go of it. But when I let go of it and felt grounded enough into the earth to realize I could still enjoy my life and my experience as a human here on earth no matter what, that's what brought me into that balance point, because now I can see both sides of the coin. And in me finding that balance, then I felt that my twin, and for many of you, your masculine, found their balance point, which was to do the opposite, which was for them to come into their intuition, into their inner knowing, more into that 5D spiritual energy of the higher chakras. And I feel that, especially around that 111 portal, it hit them like a ton of bricks, is what I'm feeling. I definitely feel a lot of fear around how they can approach it, but I'm feeling the push of their energy. In the past, and I did feel it for a minute, where it felt like, oh my gosh, I need to do something. Okay, what should I do? Should I reach out? Should I write? Even just as a friend, just because I was feeling the energetic pull so strongly. So part of me felt like, oh, that same old feeling that I used to feel. Like, oh my gosh, I need to do something. I need to let him know I feel this. But then I was told by my higher self, no, let him sit in that. Like, let him feel this very deeply. You're feeling the pull, but you can't go in and sort of save him, so to speak, or make it easier. Let him come to the full realization of what you have, what the connection is, what you are to him. Let him delve deep into that without intervening and possibly putting that chaser energy right there. I did really have a client of mine come to mind. I haven't talked to him in quite some time, but I had a client he's a twin flame, and when he was younger, his journey was like, I forget how many years, 25 years, or it was a really long journey. And basically, when he was younger, he had a, a girlfriend back in his hometown, but he wanted to move on to bigger and better things, and he was just always focused, eye on the prize, very grounded into that 3D. He wanted to make money, he wanted to be successful. This girl just lived in the small town where he was from. So they were in love and all this, but he wanted to leave and move on with his life, even though it was going to hurt her so badly. And it did hurt her very badly. He moved away. They kept in touch, and she would try to see him and stuff like that. And he knows that he would push her away, push her away, push her away. So she was very sad in her world. She ended up developing an autoimmune disease, and he told the story of how he felt suddenly such a pull to go back home, and suddenly he just kept thinking about her, and he didn't understand why. And his life had gone on, he had different girlfriends, but no one was ever like her. So he said he went back to the small town where he was from, and he heard from some people that she was sick and in the hospital. So he went to go and see her. She had moved on, she had gotten married and all this. But all of a sudden, when he came back to town, she started getting better, and she had been close to death. But all of a sudden, when he came to see her, her health turned around. In their situation, it turned around, that suddenly it hit him, and I'm talking 20 years later or something, it hit him like a ton of bricks. In recent years, oddly enough, which I feel is part of the shift to get the twins together, like there's certain time frames and timelines. But she had moved on with her life, and she would talk to him as a friend and all that, but she wasn't ready to give up her life with her husband or anything like that to be back with him. And all of a sudden, I've been thinking about him recently, just in that it's interesting to me that he can move away, move on with his life, just think he was over it, and bam, it hit him really hard. And all of a sudden, he just wanted nothing more than union with her, and he was willing to do whatever it took. He was coming to me for healings and guidance, and he did many other sessions and many other changes in his life to really go deep into his own healing, his own spirituality, his own mission work. I haven't talked to him in some time, but it'd be interesting to know how he's doing along his journey right now. But I just wanted to share that for any of you out there who are feeling that and you wonder if it's true, you wonder, is this all real? Are we just making it all up? But no, even this man, 20 years later, he could never let go of his twin. He always remembered her. So even if there needs to be distance in your lives right now, for me, I have a boyfriend at the moment. I'm happy with this person. He's a good man. As I said before, I wouldn't have even gotten into a relationship just out of fear and just putting all the weight of the world on my own shoulders. And now I'm just saying, no, why be closed off? I'm open, universe. I'm open to whatever. I didn't find a boyfriend out of just a neediness or codependency. I just see that it's happening for deeper reasons. I hadn't seen my twin in a long, long time, years now. And the time had come in my journey to be open to receiving. And this person who's in my life right now is definitely teaching me so much, showing me things about myself. It's allowing me to see the ways in which I've changed. It's allowing me to see how my communication has come along, my self-worth, my groundedness, my open-heartedness, even sexually, my state of receiving, receptivity, being in that feminine energy, but yet being balanced. It's really amazing and beautiful. It's eye-opening, and I'm really grateful for it. But even in my world, just because I have this person to share my life with, it doesn't mean I've just forgotten about my twin. I know what our connection is, and I've surrendered to the degree that I'm saying, okay, universe, you're in charge. I'm open to whatever's going to happen in this life here, and I'm excited for it. I'm going to go in with a positive attitude now, not fear and worry, just open with excitement. I've put it out a million times, in the previous years, putting it out that I want to manifest my twin flame union. So I've put it out there, I've let it be known, and more recently it was that I want to manifest just true love. So part of the manifestation process is to be able to put out what you want, but then at the same time release any need for it and just release it to the universe with trust that the right situation will come your way. And I do feel that, because as I've said, at this point in my life, I could see a happy life with this karmic partner that I found, soulmate that I found, this connection with another human who appreciates me, and we are learning from each other and growing together. But at the same time, if the universe wants to stick a wrench in my plans of that and show me another way and my twin comes back, I'm not going to stress about it, and I'm just going to cross that bridge as it happens and just see how it unfolds. Either way, I'm open and I feel I'm in a flow. I'm no longer angry at my twin, which is wonderful. I'd be happy to even be his friend and just remain connected in that manner if that's what's necessary at this time. Or I'm open to just continue to let him have his space and let him grow and let myself grow. He's had karmic partners along the way as well. I've known about them. And as much as it hurt me when I saw that, or it stabbed me in the heart when I saw a picture of him and his, girl that he was dating, or girlfriend, or I'm not sure what she was, but now I just feel like, okay, hopefully she taught him things. Hopefully she helped open his heart up a little bit more. And let's just see where this all goes. Surrender. So I hope all of you are well. Maybe this will resonate with you. Maybe it won't. I do talk to many twins, and I know that many were sort of in this state. So I didn't want to talk about it any earlier because I didn't want to influence anyone either. I am definitely not here by any means to say that if you're waiting for your twin, just go find a boyfriend. For me, this has just happened, I left my husband of many years 4.5 years ago. So, it's been a while that I've been single. I've not had a boyfriend since then. I had my connection with my twin. But he was in and out of town where I live for about 1.5 years. He was in and out of town And then now I haven't even seen him in 2.5 years, maybe almost 3 now. So I'd given that time. I'd given that time to heal. And I totally understand for many twins out there that they'd just rather be on their own and just really focus on their healing on their own and not intermix any other energies. I completely understand that and respect that. But I just felt that there was always a lot of talk that, you don't date anyone else. But I do think that you can learn a lot through other karmic partners that come your way. It could be meant to be. I was being very closed off to it, and I opened up to it, and it gave me almost an understanding for why my twin was also doing that. It's like, oh, I get it. It just wasn't our time yet, and it's like he knew. So just allow for that and allow for any possibilities to come along. Stay open. Again, it's not a matter of forcing it, like, oh, I need to go find a boyfriend, I can't handle. Oh, believe me, in the beginning of my twin flame journey, when I didn't know what was going on, just out of pure frustration and anger, I would try to force it and meet someone else, and just so I could forget about my twin because he was frustrating me so much. And believe me, when I was in that energetic flow of trying to force it out of, my ego, it would always blow up in my face. So to attempt it from that energetic standpoint, I find it will not work. But if you just say, universe, I'm open to you, I'm in your flow. I did also light a red candle and just put the intention for love in my life in whichever form that it was to come in. And when I kept lighting this candle over and over again, I think within a month, I met my current partner. So just remaining open, but definitely I feel my twin in my heart. I love him so much. I send him so much love, like so much love. And it's a beautiful feeling to know that even in a relationship with someone else whom I do care about, I still feel love for my twin. I still feel compassion for him. I still want the best for him. I still want him to have a heart opening and soul growth and learning, and I want myself to as well, and just keep flowing into our divinity. So I just wanted to share all of that with you, let you know how things are coming along. I am available for healing. I've been getting more and more into my healing practices and doing readings. It's been so rewarding. It's so rewarding. I definitely enjoy helping those on the twin flame path, or even those who aren't, or who are just awakening and figuring things out and navigating their path. I just get very clear messages that come to me from my clients, and I've had many repeat clients over the years that it's just been so wonderful to watch their growth and assist them along the journey. I'd had a sort of intro special of $50 per hour, and I just ended up sticking with it so far. It still resonates with me. I never wanted to make my rates too high for people. I get what it's like. I get when you have no one to talk to, or, it's hard to find someone who understands this journey. And then to also get intuitive guidance and advice. I would say everyone on this path, they do have a strong intuition, but our mind gets in the way. And sometimes we just need the extra intuition from another who is tapped in and can pick up on messages, and I can pick up on your twin's energy and where things are at and pull cards and even do guided healings that come to me intuitively. Every session for every client, and even every client each time, it's a little bit different. So let me know if you would like to book anything with me. I'm open and happy to assist you along your journey. And yeah, I'm sending you all tons of love, many blessings, tons of healing, and I hope this journey is treating you well and you're staying in the flow.